I'd like to call to order the Board of Safety public meeting for Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. Please rise and pledge the flag, and I'd also like to have a moment of silence for the Robb Elementary shooting and for everyone down in Udale, Texas, and also to remember the law enforcement that was involved with this also. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, roll call, please. Yes.
Jim Wilson. Here. St. Elizabeth. Present. Norm Stick.
Present.
Charlie Caper.
Present.
William Fisher.
William
Oh,
Fisher.
here.
Tom Wilkening.
Here.
Charles Brittingham.
Here.
Nick Mager.
Here.
Ralph Miller.
Present.
David Austin.
All right. Are you making public comment?
Nope,
Oh, okay.
but thank you though.
We're doing what?
Nothing, I'll listen to your public comment. I'm just way ahead of you, I apologize.
You want to get home before it rains.
Yes.
If you have public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and make your comment. I have to call 3 times. Public comment once. Public comment twice. Public comment 3 times. Being none. Am I moving on with the agenda, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I need approval of the minutes of the Monday, April 25th meeting, 2022. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion from Norm. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
A second from Dave. Are there any questions? Being none, roll call vote, please.
Josh Gilbert.
Yes.
Jim Wilson.
Yes.
St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
Norm Stick.
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. VIPS report.
No VIPS report, I think you got a copy of their April report. The VIPS lieutenant wasn't here. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
And they had a tag day on, they did finish it up on March 7th, correct? They had to postpone the first one because of rain. So I don't know the numbers yet from it, unless it was on their report, but I don't have it in front of me.
He said it was about $900.
Okay, that's wonderful. All right, Police Department Communications.
Board members, today I would like to recognize the final officer that was involved in the incident on March 9th here in town when we had to notify the SWAT team for the individual that was in his residence with a gun pointed to his head. I would like to read you the letter that I sent to the director, Colonel Steve Hunter of the Indiana Conservation Department, their headquarters. Dear Director Hunter, the purpose of my letter is to thank your department, specifically Conservation Officer Terry Millifogli, did I say that right? Okay. Millifogli, for her assistance with a very serious call that we had in town. On Wednesday, March 9th, 2022, the Cedar Lake Police Department was dispatched to a residence in Cedar Lake for a man with a gun. The man known to our department was in the residence with a firearm pointed to his own head. Officers arrived, including CO Millifogli, and took action. While my officers were dealing with the suicidal subject, CO Millifogli assisted in removing the family out of the residence, including 5 adults and 1 adult that had difficulties. I was notified of the incident and responded to the scene. When I arrived, my officers were assisting with the suicidal subject while CO Millifogli was helping keep the family out of the area and warm as it was a very cold night. Once the family was removed from the area, CO Millifogli shut down one of the roadways leading to the residence, allowing SWAT to take over negotiations with the suicidal subject. The negotiation ended peacefully, and the suicidal subject walked out of the house and was taken to the hospital. In speaking with my officers on scene and what I witnessed personally, we could not have accomplished this task without CO Millifogli. The job of a chief can be difficult at times, but knowing that the members of other departments can be there to back my men and women up on calls is a blessing. I wanted to thank you for your personnel You have Working Our Lake, those that assist us regularly, and specifically CO Millifogli for not just this incident, but the years she has helped us in Cedar Lake. God bless you, sir, and the men and women of the Indiana Department of Conservation. Respectfully submitted, William Fisher, Chief of Police. So today, and in response to that, I received a card from the Colonel. It says, Chief Fisher, thank you for your letter describing it's hard to read his handwriting, the events of March 9th, 2022, and for your recognizing the assistance of Officer Millifogli. I will see that your letter becomes a part of her permanent employment record. I thank you for your work, relationship of mutual benefit, and look forward to working with your agency in the future. Respectfully, Steve. So today, Board, I would like to present Indiana Conservation Officer Terry Millifogli. Did I say that right? Terry Millifogli, from the Town of Cedar Lake Metropolitan Police Department, a letter of appreciation that certifies. This certification is awarded to ICO, or Indiana Conservation Officer Terry Millifogli, for her actions above and beyond the line of duty on March 17th. Did I get the date wrong? I might have. 2022. If I have to redo it. Your unwavering devotion, professionalism, dedication to service reflect great credit upon yourself. Your actions are in keeping with the highest standards of the state of Indiana, the Department of Natural Resources, and the Town of Cedar Lake. Awarded this 25th day, May of 2022, Cedar Lake Police Department Administration, William T. Fisher, Chief of Police, Carl E. Brittingham, Deputy Chief of Police, and Thomas Kidd, Patrol Commander. This is Officer Millifogli. To the Colonel, and I'm going to keep this, and I'll put this in our records. What? She said they got something good, so
Yeah.
maybe you want to say something to them, or?
I just wanted to say thank you. I've worked here in Lake County, specifically on Cedar Lake for, it'll be 18 years in October, so, we couldn't remotely keep the outside of the lake under control, and I don't even know if we sometimes keep the inside of the lake under control, but, the police department has always been much needed help with us. They're always there when we need them. We've got this going on, can you assist us with this, or, hey, we just need to talk, so I appreciate you guys, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, you got a picture. You guys want to get in there? No, this is good. Can you see the sign back there?
Say Millifogli.
Casey.
Yeah.
That's what I said, right? Was I just like sounding?
I couldn't marry like a Smith or a...
It used to be really easy with Arlinson.
Yeah.
That was pretty simple.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and thank you for checking on with Diane down at the chamber all the time. She appreciates you coming in. and seeing
Oh,
her.
I like her. We have good talk.
Thanks, Board.
All right, do you have any other communications?
I just have one other one. I received a card from Christian Motorcycle Association called the Run for the Sun. Sun is spelled S-O-N. Every year, they do a motorcycle run to help benefit things that they're trying to help with. And they sent us a card, just a short note of thanks for your assistance with our ride for Run for the Sun, which is spelled again S-O-N, for Jesus. We couldn't have done it without your help. And then they gave us a small gift card for Dunkin' Donuts. So, but then it has a little bit of scripture in the card from 2 Corinthians. So.
Carl's not aware of the gift certificate.
I didn't see the gift card.
There's got it. Yeah, so, and then the last thing was, I still haven't got a copy of the picture, but myself, Deputy Chief Mager, and Chief Scolari, is that Chief Scolari, went to the Eagles and surprised Dave. No, Dave knew what was going on. We were keeping him. Surprised the Eagles and presented them with the plaque for their unwavering support for the town of Cedar Lake Police and Fire Departments. I personally think the plaque was phenomenal. I mean, I thought it was gorgeous. Probably the best one we've ever had done. I don't know what the guy said, but Dave could probably talk about it.
Beautiful.
I appreciate it. The plaque was the nicest plaque I've ever seen. I really appreciate that. As a matter of fact, they're finding a special place to hang it where it won't get all, where everyone can see it and it'll be in a great display there. So they're working on
Good.
a good spot for it.
I think they were pretty happy, and we just wanted to show them the support, or the things that, the plaque itself, I'm waiting on pictures from VK, but the plaque itself actually had both department logos engraved in, basically into the plaque with some beautiful words, so, actually, I think I have what it said.
I apologize for not being there. I just brought my dad home from the hospital and I needed to take care of him. He was very loopy.
We understood, and again, we appreciate your guys thanking us for that. Didn't expect it, but thank you.
Yeah, it was nice. So, it just says honoring the Cedar Lake Fraternal Road Eagles 2529 with great appreciation and our deepest gratitude for the many invaluable contributions and continued support helping ensure the success of our departments and programs, the Cedar Lake Metropolitan Police Department and the Cedar Lake Fire Department. Thank you. So this is what the plaque looks like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They changed it up. They changed their style up a little bit at that place.
What's that?
I got a couple other flags that look really.
Well,
like
her and
that.
I sat down and
Yeah.
really tried to come up with something. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
hail?
pretty nice. Yeah.
He said it was going to be pretty.
It's getting with it.
Sorry. Just raised. So that's it for communication.
Okay, finances, purchase orders, expenditure reports, and grants. I just have one question on the, this Pinecrest winterize and boat. Is that the last part of the propeller that was bad, or this is just?
No, that's for the full winterization and then bringing it back out of storage, right?
And so did the part come in to get it fixed or not?
As of yet, we have not received the boat. When the part comes in, the boat's gonna be on the water. I have not heard anything from Bob, other than our new motor's still waiting to be, get here. So he told me last Thursday they'd be in, but with parts delays, who knows?
Totally understood.
So you had a copy of a police department expenditure report for the month of April, along with the expenditure report from the clerk's office. We're right at 32.8%. The end of April is designated for 33%, so we're just under that mark right now. The grants, don't really have any grants that we're working on right now. We did get the final approval for the birds grant, so that is good to go. And the clerk now has all the information to get the money back, because it's a reimbursable grant, which is going for the body cameras and the car cameras.
Okay, staffing?
We did have that brief conversation about former Officer Stirk. Emergency applications are out, we're taking them through June 10th. I know we got one application, but it was filled out on the town's application, so we reached out to the person. I don't know if they filled the new one out yet. Have you received anything? I don't even know if we received any applications yet, so.
Okay.
Our part-time records clerks, Candace and Kim, are doing really good. I think Kim's, according to Sarah, is pretty close to being finished. She's very knowledgeable, and Candace is doing just as well. And then the last thing, we have our department meeting and inspection on June 8th. If you guys would like to attend, the inspection will start at 0800 hours here in the parking lot.
And this was on a Wednesday, or?
It's on a Wednesday morning, yeah. And then after that inspection, then I'll have a department meeting with myself with some training involved in it, so. But if you guys would like to come around between 8 and 9, to look at all the vehicles, hoping that the new ones will be there, but I don't think so. So, we might have one or two of them, so.
All right, training report.
So you got a copy of the training report. It's to the best of our abilities, with the exception of the last two lines that talk about active shooter refresher. That was not done, and if you look at the unit number, you'll see why, because it's not available right now.
Okay, equipment.
Yeah, there's definitely some training missing. We just didn't have the ability, because that person is not working right now, so to update that. Vehicle repairs, you got the vehicle expenditure report for the year so far. In April, you can see that Unit 38 had a new siren replaced. Pinecrest, that was the winterization stuff. $25, which is a normal tire repair at TJ&T. Nagy's, $548 at a transmission additive. I had a new, we had to put a new switch box in mine. Mine stopped working. We were having a bunch of problems with it. We thought we fixed it by taking it apart and fixing it, but the selector switch just stopped. It stopped connecting. So we just got a new box and installed it here at the station. But we bought it through Chicago Parts because we get a discount on it. And then 38 had a tire repair also. Number 48, you probably saw it at Nagy's recently. It died on him, and then we found out it had a dead cylinder, which believed because of that dead cylinder, which was an injector that went bad, that cylinder exhaust stayed open, which caused fuel to dump into the cylinder head. So when Larry went out to start it to find out what the problem was, he believes it vapor locked and busted the starter shaft. So he had to replace the starter shaft, give it time to go down, and then realized that it was injectors that were bad in there. So we replaced all the injectors. Car's running again now. I don't have the bill yet from him. He told me I'd have it from him tomorrow. The black Charger went in, had some air conditioning after a fire chief in our town borrowed it from me. All of a sudden the air conditioner didn't work. But it turns out it was actually some wiring that had some corrosion on it. The car's got 90,000 miles. It's a 2012. So once you pulled the connector apart, fixed a little corrosion that was underneath the dash, air conditioner worked fine.
You should be thanking him for finding the problem.
That's right. It was all those pursuits I was in.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a quick question about this, because someone did approach me and said, you know, I see the car over by Nagy's over there, and why is this vendor always handling all the details? Do we bid this out to
No.
these different vendors?
No, most of the work we try to get done at the town garage, and if they can't do it, we get it into Larry because he gets it done as quick as possible and gives us pretty good discounts. But we've never bid it out. It's always been that way since I've been here. He's just always done the extra work that can't be done at the town garage, that mechanic doesn't have time to do or the ability to.
And TJT tires as well. They see the cars over there a lot.
Yeah, they
Is that
do all
only
that.
vendor? I mean,
They're a vendor with the town. They are, they are a tire vendor. We don't buy the tires directly from them. We get them at state bid cost directly from Pomps, who supplies pretty much every community in this area. And then they deliver them to, and then TJT puts them on and balances it for us.
And again, you don't bid for the service?
No.
That's
No, it's just something that we've always done. I would imagine that would have to go through the clerks or the council if they wanted me to go elsewhere. We take some of the Dodges to the Dodge dealership if need be when it comes down to some pretty serious problems. Or Ford, as a matter of fact, Carl's car is at Art Hill Ford right now, getting some work done to it that, is warranty work, thank the Lord. But the small stuff, when we don't know what it is, we need to find out right away, and Mr. Nagy's been always on top of that for us. So he gets me notified within that day, hey, I think this is the problem, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. New vehicle update, all of them are striped. I spoke with Eric. Problem is the new equipment. We have everything for inside the car except for the cages and the new radars. We ordered the radars direct from the company and had them shipped to them. On the website it said we had 30 days. They would receive them in 30 days. That's right about 30 days right now. So our IT director has emailed them to find out what the status is on the radars. And the cages, we just don't know when they're going to come in. So he said he has about 3 cars that have been sitting there for 60 days because he's waiting on equipment, and a couple cars have been sitting there for over 90 days just waiting on equipment because nationally everything's just running behind.
So basically, as far as for cages, you could put the car into service and then use another vehicle to transport?
Well, technically we could. Technically we could. The problem is they tear the entire interior of the car apart. So to put the cage in, because it has to be mounted to the B-pillar of the post and to the floor. So if we put them in service, then we're gonna have to pay for them to take everything back out to put
All
these
right,
cages
yeah,
back
you
in.
do.
Yeah.
You just think about putting them in.
Yeah, no, they have to be attached to the B-pillar and to the floor so that they keep the car stable if they're in a crash.
Okay.
And the old cages, cars with old cages,
Don't fit.
all right, monthly activity report.
Last one was the phasers, I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're all in. We have Officer Miller, or Corporal Miller has taken the online course, and actually had a web class yesterday to become certified as an instructor, which was the first step that we had to take. So now that he has completed that, he will start the process of getting them issued out to each one of the officers. We've got to put them through their own class. And then, once he gets that done, he'll take their old taser. Once we get all the old tasers, we'll turn them into phaser for the trade-in value. Then, the last thing on equipment was the body cameras and the car cameras. So, we're starting to receive some of the equipment, well, some of the stuff. They're mostly chargers that are coming in right now. Hopefully the body cameras are coming soon. We did hear some unfortunate information on the 40 car cameras, as they're having an issue with stock and getting in on time. They're struggling to get the cameras in. There was conversation that they may not even come until next year. So they have talked to us about upgrading to the M500. So we're looking at that, making sure that there's no additional cost or whatever there's going to be, but we just don't know yet. So at bare minimum, we're going to at least get the body cameras out there and get them functioning and in the works, but that's where we're at.
Operationally, are the phasers much different than the tasers?
Pretty identical. Yeah. Just have a different look. Copyright infringement.
Can I go get one?
You can. Why don't you do that while we're finishing this up? He'll go get one, you guys can see it. You see our monthly reports. You can see that we're averaging almost 33 calls still per day. We've had a total of 3,859 calls for the year. We had almost 1,000 calls for service in the month of April. We've issued 112 citations in the month of April. We issued 252 warnings in the month of April. We also had a total of 31 arrests with 52 charges, 39 misdemeanor, 10 felonies, and 3 warrants, for a total of 123 for the month, and a total of 200, or for the year, and a total of 220 charges for the year. You can also see the town ordinance citations issued by our code enforcement and from officers. So in total, right now, there has been 130 citations issued within for the code enforcement, and a total of 170 written warnings for her 25 hours a week that she works. She's also stepped into some new roles with the town manager. We're starting to venture into some zoning violations to assist with the building department, where we're gonna try to get her some training for zoning code violations, and been looking at the policies or the ordinances, thank you, for the zoning to ensure that there is a fee structure with it versus a red tag.
On town ordinance citations, it says traffic lanes, what does that mean?
Traffic
Parking,
Parking?
Like in over a line or something, or?
Parking in the traffic lane, obstructing traffic.
So do you issue those to Amazon and all those people that park in the roads?
Technically we could, but no, we don't.
Kind of just depends on the totality of the circumstances, I guess.
All right, thank you.
I notice there's a high number of these abandoned vehicles consistently across the board here, Jennifer.
Yep, probably our.
Explain that, what is that?
probably our number one. An abandoned vehicle by ordinance is any vehicle that's parked on a person's property that is not properly registered and is not in running order. So it has to have valid registration on it, and it has to run. So if it's got a flat tire, it's an abandoned vehicle. If it's got invalid plates, it's an abandoned vehicle. If it's got no motor, it's an abandoned vehicle by ordinance, by the title of the ordinance.
So if it's on private property
Yes, sir.
in the state of disrepair,
Yes, sir.
do you get a complaint on that, or you?
No, she drives around and sees them and then
Look for that?
stops. Yep.
Okay.
Same with the officers.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. So that's the monthly activity report.
But suppose.
Summerfest update real quick. Officers are scheduled. I know you asked that during our pre-meeting. Fireworks are on Friday, 7/1, and Sunday, 7/3. So Friday and Sunday are the big nights for the fireworks, so be prepared.
No, I asked about Lexipol updates.
Let's go update. We still have the same one that's pending, but I know that you're still waiting for a review from the town attorney, so I'd imagine we'll just skip that one. The only other one was policy number 1124. We had were approached by the deputy clerk treasurer that in our policy really didn't stipulate when officers received their uniform allowance and when they did not. So in the policy 1124, all we did was change in section 1124.2. It should read, the Cedar Lake Police Department will provide initial uniforms and equipment for all employees who are required to wear them in the manner, quantity, and frequency agreed. Full-time officers will receive a yearly uniform allowance amount and payment scheduled to be set by the town's governing body by ordinance. Probationary officers would be eligible for a uniform allowance after 1 year of service. The department may provide other department members with uniforms at direction of the chief of police. All uniforms and equipment issued to the department members shall be returned to the department upon termination or resignation. So that's all we did was update that, just so that there's some clarity for the clerk's office as to when officers receive uniform allowance.
All right, I need a motion to include policy 1142 in the policy book.
1124.
I'm
Do
sorry.
we have to amend the agenda? No? Okay.
It's under Lexipol policy update.
I'll make a motion to accept the amendment to policy 1124.
A motion from Dave, is there a second? Second. A second from Jim. Any questions? Being none, roll call vote.
Josh Covert?
Yes.
Jim Olsop?
Yes.
Dave Villalobos?
Yeah.
Norm Stick?
Yes.
Charlie Gabriel?
Yes, motion carries 5-1, so the officers will all get a copy of this?
Yeah, they'll get notified by email, and then they have to go in and review it,
Okay.
and then accept it.
All right, police department, other, anything?
The only thing that I have is that issue that we talked about with the attorney with Mr. Stirk. There was no votes. So if you want to send a letter to the board, to the council, if you want to vote on it, then that needs to happen. But there was no vote on last council, or last Board of Safety meeting.
Okay.
It was just a discussion.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Well, we have a motion to,
Enforce the contract?
Okay, I need a motion to amend the agenda.
so moved.
I have a motion from Norm, is there a second?
I'll second.
From Dave, the motion is to send a meeting from the board to the town council, suggesting that Officer Stick's contract be
Enforce.
enforced.
That's what you so desire.
Don't you got to vote on the
Oh,
amending the
yeah,
agenda?
I'm sorry, Bob. Let's vote on the motion to amend the agenda. Roll call.
Josh Covert?
Yes,
Jim
a
Olsop?
question for that though. With a timeline for him to get back, or that's up to
I
them?
think that's the town council.
Yes.
Well, wait, we're voting on just amending the
Yeah,
agenda.
we're just amending the agenda
Okay.
right now.
Josh Covert?
Yes.
Jim Olsop?
Yes.
Dave Villalobos?
Yes.
Norm Stick?
Yes.
Charlie Gabriel?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Now I need a motion to send a letter to the town council in regards to Officer Stick's contract.
Officer Stirk.
I'm sorry, Stirk's contract,
Enforcing the,
forcing the refund of,
Enforcing the contract.
right.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, a motion from Norm. Is there a a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Josh. Are there any questions on this?
And this will be left to their discretion on how to enforce it, how to bring them in compliance. We'll leave it to their discretion, we won't tell them how
We're
to do
just
it.
following our rules.
Okay.
Yeah, this was because you guys wanted to send a letter of favorable or non-favorable. It wasn't decided on at the last meeting, so.
Very good.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Josh Garber,
Yes.
Jim Multop,
No.
Dave Villalobos,
Yes.
Norm Stick,
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 4-1. So you'll prepare that letter and I'll sign it.
We'll make sure they get it for the executive session at the next council meeting.
Okay, and it needs to say what the vote was.
Yep,
Okay?
and that's it.
All right, thank you, Police Department, Fire Department.
Under communications, Chief Fisher and I had the same one with, the Eagles, so that's the only communications I had at the time. Open house invitations, I found out today that our open house is gonna get bumped because of the lake dredging open house ceremony, so I'll be rescheduling that again, so that we can make sure we don't do it the same night where everybody's supposed to be two places at once. At that, excuse me?
That's at 4 o'clock, what time's yours?
Well, it was gonna be at 6 o'clock, but
Okay,
I don't know that
it's
somebody
your
wants.
party.
Our party. I just didn't think people would wanna go to two places at the same night, so we'll bump it a few days and we'll go from there. And at that open house, what we're gonna do is have a, display of the truck and the new rescue tools that we just recently received. The expenditures, as you can see, I want you to take a close look at, 413 with the Chicago Communications radio. The problem with the radio was turning on and off, okay? The problem with the whole thing was $800 to fix it.
Portable?
Portable.
Yep.
Those radios are $7,000-8,000 a piece, and just because of this on and off switch wasn't working properly, or the system wasn't working properly, it costs us almost $1,000 to fix a radio. It's absolutely ridiculous, but this is what we have to deal with. The rest of them, the front brakes, those are for parts for the ambulance.
What is the first one to Chase? Is that?
That's our go-to meeting, system to where we can do group meetings.
So this isn't Chase Bank?
No,
Paid by the
it's paid by the Chase credit card
Oh,
from the town, so it's an online subscription, so we have to use the
I understand,
card.
I just,
There's the first call. As far as the grant's concerned, okay, so the Safer grant, we haven't heard anything yet, so we're waiting to hear on that. Under staffing, we recently had another bout of COVID hit the fire station, and we lost half a dozen employees at different times, including our deputy chief, which you always feel the impact when he's gone, so, he's back and he's doing well, so, but we did have shortage, and this was a rough round, because it hit a lot of people at the same time, so, but everybody's back and doing well. We are currently taking applications for part-time and full-time, just to start another list, because our list is actually dwindled down to hardly anything now, because the people on our list have been hired elsewhere. So we're gonna end up we have to put another list together. And hopefully we can get some paramedic firefighters on that list, but it's becoming very difficult in the region because everybody's hiring, not even just the region, it's statewide, nationwide, so. Tomorrow night we'll be doing water rescue training. Last week went real well. The whole county dive team was in Cedar Lake, as well as our divers were out throughout the rest of the county in different evolutions and locations. That's their annual week-long dive training program that they do as a team to recertify their folks, and then also, get to know each other. They train together as well, but this was like 1 week solid of training, so it went very good. Thanks to Bugaboos. Bugaboos brought some food down here and fed everybody that was down here that day. Tony, our Marine, yes, sir, our Marine guy basically, set it up with Bugaboos, so it was really nice. The Genesis extrication class, we're gonna be doing a class tomorrow night down at the town garage, if any of you'd like to come and watch. We'll be tearing up 4 cars with the new equipment, doing different techniques. We're gonna flip the vehicles over, smash them up real good, and then, do some evolutions there. That starts at, 6? Equipment, as far as repairs, tanker update, we are still having a few problems with it as far as throwing codes. Chief Bonger actually, was dealing with it today again, and, that's where we're at. But the new squad is in service and has been in service since the last time I talked to you, so he's not gonna do it.
So what was the problem with it?
The new squad?
That's the electric car, right?
Yeah,
Did they say what was wrong?
they just thought it was bad gas in our electric car.
But they didn't know for sure.
No, Norm, they absolutely didn't. They just basically blamed it on fuel.
That's kinda hard getting.
And then we find out that there was 2.5 pounds of Freon put in the air conditioning, and it was supposed to have 22.5 pounds, so the AC didn't work, so we had to take it back, and they had it for another week just to charge it up.
Well, you're having problems with the air conditioning, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for it to go out on the fire station next. Ambulance repair, the 1261 got new brakes, that's our second out ambulance, and some minor stuff done to that. Chief's vehicle is getting painted, the fenders are getting painted. I was supposed to have it last week, but more than likely be at the end of this week. The fenders rusted out on my truck, to where you could see through them, so they were pretty bad. I did inquire about getting a new vehicle this year, used another vehicle I did find. The clerk treasurer basically pointed out that it wasn't possible to happen this year. I am asking for that vehicle to be replaced next year and be blended in with the police department's policy when it comes to replacing vehicles. We need to do the same thing they do. Certain vehicles, but not as often as they do. But just to be included in a vehicle every 5 years. Monthly activity report. Did I pass the training? No, I went through the training. You saw the training as well. It's many pages. For the month of April, we ran 155 calls. For the year, at end of April, we're at 603, and we're well over that now. We're well over 700. As far as the pension update, we met with the Council Affairs Commission three times, Ralph, and put together a plan. Met with Corby and the clerk treasurer, Corby and the clerk treasurer, not Corby the clerk treasurer. I messed that up. But we had some good dialogue with them. Chris, our town manager, thinks we can figure it out within the budget to be able to increase the pension for our firefighters to be more competitive. So hopefully this budget cycle, we'll be able to get that in our budget this year to be able to get our numbers up a little bit more. The last thing I have under other is we met again with our building committee today with the group. We thought we had a pretty nice plan laid out, but then we start looking at it a little closer, and we needed to tweak some more stuff. So next week, we're going to have an in-person meeting with them on June 1st, Wednesday. It will be at the fire station. If you'd like to attend, come on down.
What time?
8 o'clock, 8:30.
8:30, yeah. Come on down, sit in and listen to what's, gonna be proposed. Hopefully, we'll have somewhat of a final, pretty close to a final draft. We'll have it rounded up pretty close to what Bill and I have put our input in our departments. So we should see something pretty solid. I'm not gonna say that it will be the final draft, but
Yeah, no.
we'll pick it apart a little bit more, I'm sure. And that's what these sessions are doing, and then now this breakout session that they wanna do is actually get into each room and how it's gonna be laid out, the furniture, everything needed for the building at that. So we're looking forward to that. I absolutely have a blast doing these meetings, because when you get to do that kind of stuff, it's...
And the biggest thing is laying everything out so they can start pricing individual things to see what our price per square foot's gonna ultimately end up being through the BOT.
Right.
Where we're guesstimating that it should be around $450 per square foot, which is the standard, when the previous BOT got, Chief Todd actually had a chance to talk to somebody about, so we're gonna go through the intricate things that we haven't gone through yet, so.
Right, and also they came yesterday, or actually today, Veritas Group came, walked through the fire station. We also had a local contractor go through our current station to see what upgrades could be done, so we can maintain both stations in the future. And that proposal is being put together as well. So we have a certain amount of money to spend on the whole package, and we gotta be able to fit it all within there, and some upgrades here at the town hall as well, so. That project's moving along pretty good. We have a solid team. The council has trusted us to sit with them folks and do our needs assessment, and that's what we're doing, and it's working out pretty well. So, like I said, any of you'd like to come to the fire station on the 1st, Norm, I'll have donuts. I'm not gonna have pork chops,
So
but I'll have donuts.
that's the first at 8 AM or PM?
AM. 8 AM, yeah.
What was it?
Or 8:30, I'm sorry.
8:30 on the
Yeah,
first.
Bridget.
Wednesday the first at 8:30.
It'll be in our training room. We'll be able to put everything up on the screen, and we'll be able to work from there. So if you'd like to come,
8:30.
everybody's welcome. 8:30, yes, sir.
In more than two than me.
I don't know, there's only
Probably need to
a
make sure
couple
that,
of you can come.
probably have to make sure who's going, because I don't think more than 2 of you can meet, otherwise it constitutes a meeting, and we have to.
We just keep our mouths shut.
Sit in the other room, watch that. So,
It's a law. But.
I did have another executive session item that you've seen on the, agenda. I'm not prepared to talk to you guys about it yet, so next meeting I'll ask for that time as well.
Number 3 on the other, we started our, collaboration with the police, fire, and the town hall, to revise and update the emergency operations plan for the town of Cedar Lake. We were supposed to have our next meeting on the 6th, but I'm sure that's gonna get pushed since the town manager pushed the, groundbreaking ceremony to the 6th, right? So we'll probably push that. We're going through the first 50 pages of this EOP that Sarah's graciously put together for us, or done a lot of work, let me just say that. Trying to implement little portions of it, what is needed, so.
She's actually facilitating it for us.
100%.
Which is a really important thing to do to get everything we need in the plan.
100%. And I will also say, behind Chief Wilkening's statement about the portable, we just set one in for a on-off switch that was broke, and it was $800 to get it fixed.
So what,
Nothing you can do.
I was gonna say, there's no, we're hostage.
Yep. I mean, there's a Johnson radio that you can purchase. It depends on who you talk to. It's a Kenwood versus a Motorola. They say they're all right, but yeah, the new Motorola is being estimated, portable is being estimated to be $10,000.
Did you not say that?
We only need 20 of them.
Meeting that St. John was into those Kenwoods?
St. John told me that their car Kenwoods were good. They didn't have any problems, but the portables they did not like. Cliff liked them. He said they didn't have any problems with them. They're about half the cost of the current Motorola. So the 6000s that the patrolmen have are right around $3,500. The 7000s that myself and the administration have are probably, I would guesstimate, 4,000 or something comparable is going to be probably 4,000 or better for the portables. But the new Motorola portables that are coming out are supposed to be estimated at $10,000 a piece.
The technology is amazing in these portables, and that's what we're paying for. It really is.
Well, what's the life expectancy on a radio for $10,000?
We've had these portables for,
Much longer than their much.
They're outdated now, yeah.
probably,
But
we've had these for
how
probably
long-
8 years.
Probably up to 7, 8 years.
As far as technology, I mean,
That changes monthly, unfortunately.
well, exactly, but, you know, it's just like you can't
Yeah.
throw out that, you know,
It's basically a computer.
so, I mean.
Well, does it have the capacity to do an upgrade without
Yeah.
purchasing a new?
They do,
We
do
have.
have updates.
Okay.
And they do have updates that are part of the program, but like the 6000s that they currently use on patrol, they're not even, Motorola's not gonna make them anymore. They're moving to the new section, so when you ask them to be outdated, yeah, they're outdated because they won't be making them anymore. Will we still be able to get parts for them? Probably for a short time. The biggest replacement is batteries. We've been pretty good about batteries, only having to replace maybe 4 or 5 of them, because the batteries alone are $300. So, because you have to have Motorola batteries, because that's just, otherwise, parts don't work right, so,
Which I'm sure is intentional.
absolutely, you know.
Okay, we want to set a date for a budget work session. Do we want to?
Right now, you gotta propose for the 10th.
June.
You know.
Had to do with Chris, no, he just changed it.
June 10th, still fine. June 10th, still fine with you in it?
Looking here. Yeah, June the 10th at what time?
Earlier the better.
10,
We can meet at the fire station training room, then we don't have to worry about this room.
yeah.
And then we're just going over budget items with you guys, right?
Room is free.
This room's free?
Mhm.
Okay.
What day is that?
Yeah, the question would be, Charlie or Josh, can you guys meet in the morning?
Yeah, it'll take a couple hours.
Let's do it at the fire station, that way we got the kitchen and we can, like, have coffee and stuff.
So what time? 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock?
Sure.
You guys good with that?
So far, without checking my calendar, but,
You're good.
yeah.
I'll have Sarah text her wife.
Okay. Any other? All right, I have to call for public comment 3 times. Anyone wants to say public comment, please approach the podium.
You seen that bill that you go get something to show us? We'd like to see that since you want to, go get it. Well, we'll do it after.
We can do it after your adjournment.
Okay.
All right, call for public comment 3 times, once, twice, 3 times. Before we end, Pastor Ken, could you come up and say a few words about the tragedy in Texas? We already remembered them in our prayers, but you'll be much more efficient than I am.
I don't know about efficiency.
You are all convened to keep our community safe. And thanks to the very quick action of law enforcement in that situation, more loss of life was prevented. And yet, this is still so tragic and senseless. And I don't know that even if we understood a motive, that it would ever begin to absorb the difficulty that this community is going to go through the rest of their days. So let us pause and ask God to be with us all. Lord, as you said, let the children come to me, we ask that you would receive the souls of these persons who have been gunned down with your grace and your favor. We ask for your safety and protection over the children of our community and over the responsible adults that are entrusted with their care. And we ask for your protection upon all of those that respond to those emergencies and have to absorb the tragedy of such violence. Please give us all your grace and wisdom and peace. Draw us closer to each other, that we not take violent means to act out our aggressions, and lead us in building stronger, safer, and more enriching communities here in Texas and throughout the world. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. We'll have adjournment at 6:48. Did you say Stuart? Pardon? Did you say something?
I said, sure.
Oh, sure. All right, I need a motion for adjournment. Second? Josh, voice vote, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Adjourned at 6:50.